about to be 29? Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, I will be saying 29 things that I have learned in my 29 years of living. Now, I'm not 29 yet, okay? I'm still 28, but my birthday is literally a few days away, you guys. I'm about to be 29. It's still not 100% registering for me that I'm about to be 29, but okay, I guess so. If you beauties want to see this video, definitely stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button right now. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and also keep up with me on all of my social medias. Let's get right on into the video. Hey, now let's say hey. She's having a moment right now, guys. Like, I'm turning 29. What? When did we get here? I'm turning 29. It's not even registering. It's not making sense. Next year, I'm turning. I can't even say it. I'm still a child, you guys. Who picked me as this generation's new adult because I am a child. Okay, so first thing that I've learned is to go where the love is. And what I mean by that is, like, I've actually been learning this lesson like late last year, beginning of this past year. You have to go where you're being celebrated, where people love you, where people embrace you, where people support you. I've learned that a lot of people, like some of the people who you would think would be the closest people to you, really don't really care for what you got going on, what you're doing, what you're into, what you need support in. And in my opinion is that it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut those people off that aren't celebrating you, supporting you, etc. But definitely limit your time with them. If they're not prioritizing you, then why are you prioritizing them? So go where the love is. Give your attention where the love is. Give your affection where the love is. Make sure that the relationships and the people around you, like the energy, is reciprocated. Okay, so another thing that I've learned in my 29 years is that you definitely need to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself and not finding love. In your 20s, you guys, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, people are gonna say a lot of things. People are gonna say your 20s is the era where you do mess up, make all these mistakes, enjoy your life, have fun, because you're never gonna be that young again. But I feel like a lot of the times, and I'm only speaking from a lesson that I have learned, where my focus was so much on having a partner, having a relationship, the ideas in my head of like, oh, I want to be married or have kids by this age or that age or whatever, start a family. So you focus on finding love, and then when that love doesn't work out, here you are, and now you're back to focusing on you when that should have been your focus this entire time. I know me, like, when I love somebody, the amount of effort that I put in, the amount of dedication, the amount of their stuff in their life and things that they have going on matters so much more to me than what I have going on. And that's just how I love. So just giving all of that out, if I were to give that same energy that I put into other people to myself, imagine how far along that you would be, that I would be. So I think it's just important. Like, I'm not saying in your 20s that you shouldn't date, but finding love should not be your focus. If love is meant to be, it will find you. Okay, so the next thing that I've learned in my 29 years of living is keep your word to yourself. You should definitely keep your word that you give to other people, promises that you make. But one thing that you definitely should not do is be out here letting yourself down. Like, keep your word to yourself. If you said, I'm gonna focus on my health and my fitness journey this year, and you're over here not doing it, like, what? That's the relationship that you have with yourself, is just letting yourself down. If you're letting yourself down, then you've opened the door for anybody to let you down. They don't have to hold up their end of the bargain, because look at how you treat yourself. Like, people do pay attention to how you treat yourself. Like, if you say, I'm not gonna put up with something, keep your word to yourself. You are not going to put up with said thing. Like, I don't know what the said thing could be, but keep your word to yourself. Because not only does it set the tone of how you're gonna be treated by other people, but it's a good way to just show that if other people let you down, you know that you can count on yourself. Like, you're keeping your word to yourself. So the fourth thing that I've learned in my 29 years of living is stay under your parents' roof for as long as you can. I don't care if they're kicking you out. Hold on to their ankles and tell them you're not going. And I say that to say, like, I understand you guys. I understand the rush to want freedom, like, and I understand the peace that you get having your own home. I have my own home. I understand both sides of the coin, but I say that because, hold on, before I even go into why, I definitely understand, like, money, mental health, because sometimes living with your parents can really affect your mental health. Because I experienced that, and moving out definitely helped me and my mom's relationship. But I will say, if I could have stayed a little bit longer with my mom, yeah, I would have. The earlier that you get into the start of providing for yourself, paying all these bills, paying rent, it can really put a halt or almost kind of slow down your momentum for focusing on your dreams. Like, I remember in my early 20s how I used to be out in the city at auditions, paying for acting classes and things that were supportive of what it is that I want to do. And now that I have all of my own bills and I have my own place and rent to pay, I can't be out here doing all that stuff. I don't even have the time to do all of that stuff. Like, I need to go to work. Like, I have bills to pay at the end of the day. So, like, I have my work schedule that helps me pay for my living, and then I have the time that I'm not at my job where I can dedicate it to all the things that I love, but that time is a lot smaller now to where it was before, just because my bills are a lot more. I need to work. Back then, I could maybe take on a free gig just to get, like, exposure or stuff on my resume. Now, you said work for free? You want me to work for free?
You got performing for free? You got performing for free?
Say it, say it!
What'd you say? Because it's not registering for me. No, the fifth thing that I learned in my 29 years of living is that a job will always be there, but the opportunity to go after and trace your dreams might not. And I say that to say, literally, like, you can get stuck in the rut of just working at your job for money and the bills that you need to pay, but the job is always going to be there. Like, there's always going to be work, an hourly rate, a company that's hiring because they need said thing. But opportunities knock, and you don't want to miss out on an opportunity that can literally change the course of your whole life. So I say that to say, yes, work your job, but also take it with a grain of salt, where you need to know that you have to go after the opportunities that are presented to you, or even create opportunities if there are no opportunities knocking at your door to make your dreams come true. Because you are gonna find that you get stuck in this long rut of just working for these companies for years and years, and it literally is the same thing. And I'm speaking for the people who are working a job and not in their career. If you're in your career, do your thing. You already know the steps that you gotta take because you're in your career. But for the people who are working a job alongside working on their dreams and just trying to change their life, I'm talking to you. The opportunity might not always be there, so take advantage of the opportunity and go after your dreams. Sixth thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living: just because you've known someone longer, it does not make them a better friend to you. And this goes back to my statement earlier that was like, go where the love is, because this is a lesson that I have learned. I've had people in my life that I considered my really close best friends that I've known for years. And I'm talking years, you guys. And people who I've known for a year, 2 years, 3 years, treat me so much better, care about me so much better, support me so much better, understand me so much better, have been a better friend. I really do not care how long I've known you. It's more so the energy and love that's being reciprocated. Just because I've known you for a set amount of years does not mean that our relationship has stayed the same over the course of these said years. But I've noticed that people who I've known a lot less than those 10 plus years treat me better, show up for me better. I'm gonna go where the love is. Right. The seventh thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is there's always something to be thankful for. When I tell you I have prayed and asked God to humble me in any and every moment, because I don't ever want to come from a not humble place where I feel like, oh, I deserve this. Like, regardless of whatever season that you're in your life, and maybe things aren't going as planned or things you got a stump in the road, no matter what, there's always something to be thankful for. I may not be there, but I'm blessed with it. And this is why they say count your blessings, because if you literally count the amount of blessings that you've gotten just by waking up today, breathing, you're alive, you're in a home, there's food in your fridge, you have a like, there's so many blessings that you have to count. Like, I cannot sit here and wake up ungrateful. Like, there's always something to be thankful for, to God for giving and pouring out these blessings onto you. So the eighth thing I've learned in my 29 years of living is to learn when to just put down your phone and be present. I know we are in the age of just capturing the moments, and especially me being an influencer, content creator, YouTuber, I'm very much into picking up whatever device I'm using to capture the moment. But I feel like I have also learned the times where it's okay to just put down my phone and to be present. I learned the moments where it's okay to capture, like, oh my God, we're all together, and the moments to like, let me take this all in. It's okay to not record everything. It really is. Even me speaking as a content creator, where it's important to capture the moments so that it can be seen. And I do love creating memories, because I've lost major people in my life who they've passed on, and I can't make memories with them anymore. So now I'm looking back at where's the memories that we did have. But it's also so important to just have the memory up here. This is where the memories start. Could you imagine you're out to celebrate, let's say your mom's birthday, and all you're doing is recording, or you're on your phone, you're posting a picture, or posting the video, or you're editing it or whatever, and they're just sitting there. And you know, a lot of like the older generation, they're not on their devices like the younger people are. They're just sitting there waiting for conversation. Did I even get to ask you, like, did I ask you things that are important to you? Did I get to really just be present in the moment? What was making you happy? How was your day? Woo, you have a picture, but behind the picture, they didn't really get to be present with you or spend time with you because you were on your phone the whole time. Learn to be present. The ninth thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is know when to speak and when to just keep quiet. When you're going after the things that you want, your dreams, you're manifesting, you're talking to God, it's okay to keep certain things to yourself. Like, everybody does not always have your best intentions at heart. It's okay to just keep it quiet. Like, a lot of people's energies can come into what it is that you want and try to attack it, or try to delay it, or try to, like, you don't even realize the power of people's energy. Like, when God says there's life and death in the tongue, there's life and death in the tongue. Like, you could be saying a little bit too much. Like, you want something to happen for yourself, stop talking, be quiet. Talk about it when it's already happening. They cannot detour or mess up anything that's happening already. Know the people that's really in your corner that love you and support you, because those are the people who you could talk about it with. Like, say something is happening for you, right? And somebody asks you, who's the first person that you want to call when this is happening? That first person on your mind that you would want to call, that's the person you can talk to. But all these other people around you, be on hush. no, I ain't got nothing to say. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Life is good. That's it. Keep the conversation short. And I'm very much like that. Like, you can notice the like energy seekers or the observant spirits around you who just want to know your business and want to know what's going on with you. And I very much pick up on it very quickly. You won't know a thing about me. Like, all you will know is that I am good, or what it is that I put out there on the internet. And even this is very much guarded and private. So the 10th thing that I have learned, this is the most important thing on the list. The importance of having your own relationship with God. It is so important to have your own relationship with God. Not, oh yeah, I was raised in church and yeah, my parents introduced me to God. That is great, right? That is great. But we are talking about your individual relationship with God, where you know that you can go to God and that God's gonna come to you. Who understands you the most than your creator? The 11th thing I've learned in my 29 years of living is the importance of just taking care of your health. Not only does taking care of your health, like, of course, support your body, right? And, you know, the normal things, but also it also helps with your happiness, your confidence, when you're literally taking care of yourself. And honestly, for the longevity of it, like, it matters. Take care of your health. Eat a balanced diet. I'm not saying eat super strict, eat super healthy, don't enjoy, you know, like the good things. I'm saying just be more balanced and just taking care of yourself. Like, take your vitamins and supplements, make sure you're working out, you know, like, take care of yourself, but also in all areas. Another thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is that hurt people hurt people. And this one took me, I don't want to say a long time to learn, but I always would get so offended where I'm like, why would they treat me like that? Like, why would you treat me like that? I would never treat you like that. But you don't understand that hurt people hurt people. So if you understand from a place of that this person is hurting as well, that they're going through things as well, and that doesn't mean that it's okay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you just understand it from the place that hurt people, then you'll be able to realize that it's not you who caused this or deserve this, that people are acting out of unhealed traumas and things that have gone on in their life, and you don't have to put up with that. You don't have to be around that, but it can help you heal from the hurt that they've given you a lot. So another thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is that love is not enough. I'm so sorry. Love is not enough. It's not enough, girl. It's not. Let's get past the point of 25 where your reasoning comes in. How many people still love each other but still got a divorce? How many people still love each other but they won't ever talk to the person that they love ever again? Because love is not enough. There's so much more to just I love him. There's also the respect. There's also what you've been putting up with. There's also how you're being treated. Like, there's so many layers to it that just loving someone is not enough. You can love them from a distance. Oh, I love you, but I don't gotta talk to you. I don't gotta be around you. I don't have to put up with how you've been treating me because it's been hurting me. You don't have to hurt yourself just because you love them. Like, when people are asked, like, when they're telling you the things that they've gone through or been through by someone that they're dealing with, and then they hit you with that, but I love them. Okay, I'm so glad you love them, because if you didn't love them, then we'd really question why you're with them. But you loving them is a reason to deal with disrespect. You loving them is a reason to deal with not being treated how you feel you should be treated. You loving them is a reason to deal with all these things. Like, no. Do you hear yourself? No. Like, love is not enough. So the 14th thing that I've learned in my 29 years of living is to get a skincare and body care routine. Like, y'all see me? Take care of your skin. We want it shiny. Take care of it. Take care of these skin. It's crazy to me that it took me until I was like, I want to say 22, 23 to actually start using skincare. And that's crazy. I didn't start getting a skincare routine or really figuring out my skin or knowing my skin until I was like 22, 23. And even then, I didn't have like a consistent routine. I'd use products here and there, or I'd use stuff that doesn't even go with my skin, and like, it's so important. So the 15th thing that I've learned in my 29 years of living is that just because your friend's life is going at a certain pace doesn't mean that yours needs to as well. Oh my gosh, this friend is getting married. That friend's having a baby. That friend is dating. That friend is in their career and thriving. That friend is making over 6 figures. And then there's you. So what? Yes, be happy for your friends in all the stages that they're in. But your journey should not be compared to or in comparison to the people around you. I will say though that the people around you definitely matters, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Where everyone is at in their life is based on their life and their journey alone. Focus on you. Just because your friend is getting married doesn't mean that you should start looking at your wedding finger like, where's my ring? Where's the man who's supposed to put this? Like, no, your moment will come if it's meant to come. Because it doesn't mean that that's meant for you in your life. It doesn't mean that you don't have to want those things. Yes, you can want those things, but focus on your own journey. Your friends' lives and your life do not need to be compared to one another. You'll get those things at the time that you're supposed to get them. Because you rushing it, I promise you, it's gonna crash and burn just as quick as you rushed it. So the 16th thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is learning how to truly love yourself. I would say it wasn't until, let's just say 2-3 years ago, where I really started to just love myself. Mind you, I'm 29, and I'm talking about 2-3 years ago, I started to learn how to love myself. Isn't that crazy? Like, yeah. When you love yourself, there's just so many things you're not gonna deal with, you're not gonna put up with, you're not gonna allow. Things you're gonna go after if you love yourself. I say the earlier you learn it, the better, and then just stick with it. But it's just like, ooh, when you really start giving yourself that self-love, like the amount of people who are like, I'm in my self-love, soft girl era, I am so happy for them. Like, if you really in that self-love, soft girl era, then you understand like the happiness that just, woo, like the high that you're on, the feeling good always, like, it's just different. So the 17th thing I've learned in my 29 years of living is, if somebody hurts you, focus on your healing. And what I mean by that is, you got to give yourself time. Give yourself the proper time to heal and go through your emotions, because we are all human beings and we all have emotions. And I feel like so many people love, like this generation alone, we love to say like, oh, that didn't hurt me, like I'm good. No, you're not. You acting like a little hurt little person right now as we speak. Like, why is there such a rush to be the person that is okay? Like, yeah, I'm okay, like I'm not hurt. But then you go home and you crying about it, or you go home and you sad and you depressed, you don't want to talk to nobody for real. Like, allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to go through the emotions of being hurt and healing. Like, that stuff takes time. I know we all don't want to go through it. It is not a happy process, but when you come out of that process and on the other side, it just beautiful. So you gotta allow yourself to go through that time. Give yourself time to heal. Like, there's no rush. I mean, don't like, if you struggling through the grieving process and it's taking you, like, say the relationship ended 10 years ago and you still have heavy feelings about the hurt you've got, that means you've never gotten over it. You've never healed from it. There's a point where you stumped yourself, where you just stop healing and you just begin to be this evolved hurt person. If you're struggling that much, I would definitely say to seek help, seek therapy, seek people to talk to you that can actually help to pour into your spirit rather than just listening to your problems. Giving yourself 2-3 years. I know that sounds like such a long time, but when you are going through a healing process, depending on the level of hurt that you've experienced or how many years of hurt you're talking about you need to heal from, you gotta give yourself time. I've spoken about this this in a previous video, but when you come out as the healed person, amazing. Amazing. The 19th thing I've learned in my 29 years of living is learn to place people in their proper categories in your life. And what I mean by that is everybody is not your friend. There are associates, there's co-workers, we have mutual friends, but this is not my friend. There's friends. There's best friends, there's family, there's best friends turn family. Like, learn to place people in the categories. Just going out here using the word, oh, that's my friend, very loosely, like that means that you are telling your psyche that it's okay to open up to this person or talk to this person, and you don't even realize that person don't even got your best interest at heart. Like, they don't even care about you that much. When in all reality, you're not that person in their life. Like, it's not mutual. That person is calling you a co-worker to somebody and you over there calling them your friend. The 20th thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is your circle of friends will change, and that should be expected. First off, as you evolve, you should also want your circle of friends to evolve as well. I've learned that not everybody that got on the ride with you is meant to stay on this ride. It's okay. And it does hurt. Like, it hurts. We're all human beings. It hurts when you lose people or have to let people go off of the journey, but like, it's okay. Like, not everybody who is in your life is meant to stay, but you'll know the people that's meant to stay, and you'll work as in keeping the relationship going for the people that's meant to stay in your life. But not everybody is meant to stay, and that's okay. Like, it's part of the growing process. It's like growing pains. The 21st thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is to exercise and eat balanced. Hey, so it's hours later. I actually had to go before I was late, so we're back. So the 22nd thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is heal from your childhood trauma, because you can't blame your parents anymore. Like, once you become a certain age, you can't say, oh, my parents did this, or my parents did that. They might have, you know, you don't get childhood traumas from just nothing. But when you reach a certain age, you are responsible, fully responsible for your healing. So when you become an adult and you're grown, you're gonna carry all that weight of childhood trauma with you throughout your life. That's a lot of weight to carry, and that's a lot of baggage that other people are gonna have to deal with if they want to be in your life. So heal from your childhood trauma. Stop blaming your parents. Honor your parents. Thank them for getting you through and into adulthood, and just respect them, and whatever traumas that you are dealing with, heal from them. The 23rd thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is tell the people that you love them. I learned this at such early in my 20s. I wasn't even 21 yet when I lost my stepmom, who was like a mom to me. When you lose somebody that's significant in your life, it makes you question, like, oh my god, what was our last conversation? Did I tell them that I love them? Did I say these things? You really go through that in your mind, like, what's the last time that we spoke? So I did tell them in our last conversation that I love them, which I'm so glad that I did get to do that. So make sure that as much as you can, that you tell the people that you love them, because you don't want to ever be in a predicament like I was, where you're thinking back to what was your last conversation. The 25th thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is don't lower your standards for temporary happiness. This is something that I've learned more recently, but yeah, if you have standards, stick to your standards. I'm telling you, there will always be some form of regret when you lower your standards. Like, the temporary happiness, it literally is temporary. Like, it's gonna go away very quick. The 26th thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is hard times don't last forever. And when you are in your hard times, think of it as growth season. I've learned that in my hard times, there's so much growth that happens to me personally, like mentally, spiritually. It's like growth season. So I've learned to just embrace the times where it's hard because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna grow in this season right now. So there's something positive to look at during the hard time. There's always something like a teachable moment during the hard times. So it literally is a season of growth. So just remember that they don't last forever. The 27th thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is your happiness and the things that you want are important. Your happiness and the things that you want are important. I had a period in my 20s where I did not think that my happiness and the things that I wanted were important. All I cared about was someone else's happiness and their wants and their needs, and I put everything that I wanted, needed, my happiness on the back burner. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced, you know, this same thing. Maybe it's me just always being that selfless person where I always put other people's needs and wants before my own. Literally, I have learned in this self-love soft girl season how important my happiness is. My happiness is important to me, and I'm going to make sure that I am happy. The 28th thing that I have learned in my 29 years of living is learn whose opinion you should value and whose opinion you should not. I remember I used to care so much about what other people thought of me and their opinions of what it is that I'm doing, when in all reality, their opinions don't matter at all. Why? Because they weren't helping in any sort of way. They weren't doing anything for me in any sort of way. They weren't supporting what I'm doing in any sort of way. So it was like, why am I letting their opinion take value? The only people whose opinions you should matter, your lover, your family, etc. Honestly, those are the only people's opinions that should matter. Everyone else, do not take their opinion as death in your life. And lastly, the 29th thing that I have learned going into my 29th year of living, you have to take risks in order to make your dreams come true. Most people really never do succeed because they get stuck in their safe zone and never take a chance on themselves. The things that you want, your dreams, your goals, it's gonna require you to do something different, to do what the average person is not doing, to go outside of your comfort zone and say, I'm gonna do this. I'm stepping away from this to do this. And it's scary. So it's a lot easier said than done to just be like, yeah, take risks to make your dreams come true. It is very scary to step outside of your comfort zone, but it is the only way for your dreams and the things that you truly want to come true. So as a bonus, the 30th thing that I have learned is we're going Bible here, okay? Guard your heart above all else because the issues of life flow from it. Some of the most pain that we experience in life is from people, letting people into our heart. We have to learn the ones who deserve to have a piece of our heart and are worth fighting for, and we have to learn the ones who don't deserve a piece of our heart and who are not worth fighting for. So yeah, I have learned in this 29 years definitely to guard my heart above all else, because I know the type of lover that I am and how selfless I can be, especially when it comes to relationships and friendships, and it is so important for me. This Nala trying to get my attention right now. Come here, Mama. Do the 30th one with Mommy. Hi, baby. Okay, she's being a baby. Say hi to the beauties. They're right there. Nala, they're right there. Say hi to the beauties. She's like, I don't see y'all, but hey, it's nighttime and I'm ready for bed with Mama. But yeah, like I was saying, you guys, being a selfless person, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you beauties are just like me, where you become super selfless and you can get lost in that. Who's really down for you? Who's reciprocating that energy to you? So just make sure that you guard your heart above all else. And that is the 29 things that I have learned in my 29 years of living. Drop below a happy birthday in the comments for me. And yeah, I love you beauties, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.